Thank you all for being here. Today we are here once again for the opening session. We heard probably one of the most partisan speeches I've heard from the speaker today, but he talked about making our great state greater and giving every child the opportunity to prosper in our state. And that's what we as Democrats expect to do. So we've seen tax breaks for special interests, and then we've seen our budget balanced on the backs of our most vulnerable. Last year, we took our state from a state with the strongest anti-discrimination laws to one of the states with some of the weakest. So we will seek to restore the whistleblower protections and to make our state far more accountable in spending taxpayer dollars. We will protect our school education from an administration that has engaged in unprecedented interference. And then Democrats have proposed a comprehensive package of legislation to address the opioid addiction crisis. And finally, we've also filed a comprehensive ethics package to restore confidence and transparency in our state government. And with that, I will take any questions.
You said it was one of the most partisan speeches. As I listened to it, I didn't hear a whole lot of, a lot of reflection on the 7 years that he's been in very general terms and very general statement of what things he'd like to see, but nothing really specific in that speech. Are you disappointed that they aren't giving you specifics?
Not necessarily, but I heard quite a bit of specifics in that speech. We talked about right to work. When we pointed out legislators and how we brought everyone together, we pointed out all Republican legislators. That speech was very much partisan.
But I didn't hear anything about opioid or education. I mean, are they just ignoring these issues? In your opinion?
You said it, I didn't.
What is your caucus's position on the recommendations that the Transportation Task Force announced yesterday?
We have not taken a position at this time. We'll have to sit down and go through that, and leadership will review those and see where we go. I think we've always said that's one of the most important things that we need to deal with. Our infrastructure is in bad shape, and so we need to find some solutions. It's been very difficult trying to increase taxes. So an increase on the gasoline tax and the diesel tax could be very difficult to do.
And that was going to lead into my next question. We see several different proposals come up every single year. They never go anywhere. How confident are you that this year would be any different?
One, it's going to be very difficult because I think from a budget perspective, we're going to face some really difficult challenges. And it all comes down to where do those funds come from?
The speaker said a few minutes ago that he still plans to send a lobbyist gift ban to the Senate this month. I think he actually said next week. Mm-hmm. Whether that's doable or not. What about that effort, or what about how that effort should look in your eyes?
Well, quite frankly, I would hope that we would have that the speaker will hear all of the ethics bills and we move all of them with that lightning speed that he's moving the lobbyist gift ban.
Representative, one of the things the speaker mentioned in his speech was belief that the culture of this building had been improved somewhat, but yet in his press conference he also talked about the need to continue reviewing potential changes to the sexual harassment policy. That's been in the news a lot over the last few months, mainly in other states, but do you think there are some additional changes that need to be made to the House's sexual harassment policy?
I think we need to, I think we've taken some steps to deal with the sexual harassment policy, but we haven't done much to deal with the discrimination issue. That needs to be part of our training as well. I think we're moving in the right direction, but I think the sexual harassment issue is not just a capital issue, but we have seen that it's a problem throughout our state, which goes back to our whistleblower issues. When we have weakened that is a problem. The state was just had an award of $1.4 million just a week ago. We've got some issues, and weakening our laws is not the way to address it.
Low-income housing tax credits came under fire before the session started here. Do you anticipate or expect that getting funded again, or do you think that'll survive this time, knowing sort of what the stance is of the Housing Development Commission?
I am very much concerned about low-income housing tax credits. If you live particularly in some of our larger urban areas, those are very important to development in those areas, both the low-income and the historic tax credits. So, you know, while I say I am hopeful that we can retain those, I'm not sure that that's actually going to be the case.
So Representative, the federal government recently passed its tax overhaul plan, and it affects Missouri's taxes in a couple of ways. One of the ways is it automatically doubles Missouri's standard deduction, but also automatically repeals our personal exemption. Do you think as a result of the federal tax bill, there are some changes that Missouri needs to make to its tax structure, perhaps decoupling in some areas?
That is a possibility. Right now, I don't have the numbers of what that impact is going to be to the state of Missouri. We've heard some estimates, and it's a pretty broad range. But my concern is really any hit to our budget is a challenge. When you say we couldn't find $35 million to protect some of Missouri's most vulnerable last year, even if it's just $50 million, that's a cut we simply can't afford.
Speaker Beatty, the speaker did praise you personally, called you a friend. He says he hopes and believes you'll be his friend after the session. What kind of relationship do you have with him, and also you and the House Democrats with the governor? Do you meet with the governor regularly? How often do you meet with the
Wow. Let's start with the speaker question. I do have a good relationship with Speaker Richardson. We made a commitment after I became minority leader that we would meet on a regular basis. And as he said, we don't necessarily agree, but I do feel like that his door is open and I can go and speak to him at any time. As it relates to the governor, I have met with the governor exactly one time.
One time?
Period.
In a year?
Period.
Have you requested more meetings?
I think you've probably noticed from a few of my press releases, we don't really have a whole lot to talk about.
What did he talk about at that one meeting, and when was it?
Actually, before his swearing in.
Prayer breakfast? Was the prayer breakfast?
Yes, I was at the prayer breakfast as well. I'm sorry, I've talked to the governor twice. And it was just as to what, it was just a general conversation. We did talk some about the importance of the historic and low-income tax credits, but obviously that has fallen on deaf ears. We talked about some of the concerns with health care and some of the budget issues, and apparently that went on deaf ears as well. So, you know, we'll see what this year brings.
Do you think having a more regular meeting with the governor would be helpful, or do you think it would just be a waste of both of your time?
I think I'm willing to try. I'm willing to see if there can be some common ground, but quite frankly, I have some serious concerns with some of his policies that seem to be pushing a national agenda that has nothing to do with what the people of Missouri want or need.
What do you hope happens at tomorrow's scheduled ethics hearing?
Well, I am simply going to state my case. I want to make sure that the narrative is not about the defacing of the Confederate monument, because that is wrong. That is not what it is about. It is about the words of a legislator calling for murder, and that is never appropriate. What we have seen is they have connected that with Senator Chappelle Nadal. I have said I don't think they should be connected, but if you're going to go there, she was swiftly removed from all of her committees. And we have seen absolutely nothing from Representative Love.
One of the top political goals for this year the Democrats has to be to increase the numbers in this caucus, and I was curious, what issues do you think are and the Democratic positions you think are going to help you do that, and what are the tactics that you think are going to be most effective in getting that message out?
Well, I think our agenda this year being very aggressive on dealing with the opioid crisis, that is a people issue. And I think most of our issues are people. We are concerned about every citizen in the state of Missouri, protecting our public school education so that everyone truly does, as the speaker said, have an opportunity in this state. And simply getting that message out, that we are about what is important for the people.
Look, in the past, the Democratic numbers have not improved. You've lost some seats in recent elections. Clearly doing the same thing doesn't seem like it's likely to result in any different results. So what new can you do that would get the message?
Well, first of all, let's be realistic. Our numbers dropped when we saw the gerrymandering and redistricting. So we didn't have control of that. Secondly, I think we've grown by 1 or 2 over that time. And third, take a look at what's going on nationally. People are tired of this because they're tired of us putting partisan politics ahead of what the citizens want. Any other questions? All right, thank you.